Hello, good afternoon all.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, you are welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah. We'll just start the next 2 minutes. And as usual, we don't start our program without prayer. Let somebody quickly pray for us that we can start immediately. We'll have a lot to discuss today.
Let's pray.
Good afternoon, Pastor.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
I'm on time today.
Let somebody pray us quickly. Let's start. Yes. Can we pray? Go ahead.
Our Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the privilege of life.
Yes.
And we thank you for the opportunity to meet again as a group. We thank you for thus far you have helped us and led us. Accept our thanks in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Lord, we pray today that you will help us to be able to achieve all that is needful in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Help us, Lord, even to deliberate as we ought to, all the things that we need to know, that we need to see, that we need insight into, you will give unto us in Jesus' name.
Amen.
And we also remember our facilitator, you will help him through in Jesus' name.
Amen.
In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen. Amen. Thank you very much. God bless you. Yeah. The market, I would say, has been a bit dicey. If you look at the market performance from the first trading week of this February to yesterday, market has been on a downtrend, a pullback. Like what I said earlier on the program I attended, that pullback is part of market anytime. But at the time you see a pullback, at times you start panicking. But when you have your good strategies and your investment will always guide you. And the week under review, the dividend news started coming in as predicted in our last, that was January, last week of January, that February, the early filers will start coming with their number, which we started seeing them as at Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. The market so far have received dividend news of UCAP, Accra Prudential, and Nigeria Brewery. Fine. And the date as predicted is what we're seeing they are releasing there now, which is, you as an investor should have it at the back of your mind that you need to know all these dates whenever you are taking decision. And also, because the market is in this mode, we need to also look at our strategies. Is it the time to fine-tune it? What are we going to do? But I'm looking at, now we are taking position in some stocks. But what we can do at this point is looking at our position size. That position size is very, very important. We need to know the lot we have, because from what I'm seeing, the result that came to the market, they are not bad because we are not seeing the number, but the dividend are missed already. The dividend that came from UCAP was unexpected and it beat market expectation. But the market reaction shows you that the liquidity in the system, especially in the market, is a bit dull. It's not entering stock compared to what we saw towards the end of the year, December, during the rally and the early January. That will not tell you that you need to also change your strategy, because we have different investment goal and strategy to play the market. But I want to share two types now, both for those for long-term investors and for traders in the market. We are those in this forum so that we can go and look at it and take decisions. Yes, the market as we speak now, I've shown the kind of response we expect from earnings as earnings are just kicked off by these numbers. But if you can easily recall, when Fighter Foam result came to the market, market reacted because they paid 70 kobo against 42 kobo. Market reacted to that number immediately. And towards the end of the markdown, that is the week to the markdown, the stock touched almost 10 naira 5 kobo before the markdown. But what we saw in UCAP on Friday, yes, there was a good move. It touched as high as 6 naira 57 kobo before there was a tactical sell-off by those have entered earlier, either call it smart money or whatever. But what I believe that UCAP with that dividend, they have set a record for themselves. That means if you are a long-term investor in UCAP, you don't need to panic out. That's why I say your investment goal should guide you. If you're a trader,
Huh?
Please, let's maintain one house. If you're a trader, at this point, you need to sell off some position in UCAP if you have made money. Don't be greedy, because the market has shown that the rally going to the new week is very dicey. Because after these early filers, the main results will start coming in the month of what? In the month of March. And we are entering the last week of February. And those that are coming are just Dangote and Zenith Bank also have February around 20 something to 28 to release the result. But knowing that Zenith Bank is a regulated sector, they will have sent their number to CBN by now. And CBN have not sent it back to them. If they do, before Wednesday next, we should expect their result. But it depends on how when CBN release their result. Dangote adjusted their board meeting. They also result will come in February too, but they adjusted their own board meeting. That means the result that will come within this month is just the numbers of this UCAP and the African Pressure that we'll see by next week, because they just give us their dividend news. We have not seen the numbers. But no matter the number that is coming, the dividend news have given insight what we expect from these company numbers. And for that, we that have entered Africa Prudential before now that we are seeing results, what our advice, you sell 50% of Africa Prudential and watch the market. Don't just hold it unless you're a long-term investor. I'm talking of trader now. Traders should sell your half of your Africa Prudential and hold your cash and watch to the next trend to enter. Then for those that are long-term investor, because Africa Prudential is also a constant dividend paying stock, you are there because I know the people that called me, some of them are retired, and they are in this stock because of dividend. You don't need to panic because you still get your dividend. What you do when you pull back that you want to reinvest your dividend or you want to add more, you can do. Because stock like UCAP, it has sent a standard for itself. This is a company that during last week, you can see the number of members of the staff, the directors, the other staff were buying this stock ahead of the number that came, dividend of 70 kobo. Not only that, they have expanded their operation outside the shore of Nigeria. UCAP is setting a pace for itself already. And don't forget that all the acquisition move of Transcorp was facilitated by UCAP. UCAP also benefited from the market for 2020. And now we're seeing the impact on the number. You can see it on their dividend payout. That means now they are branching out into other country for business, say that they know what they are doing. That means if you're a long-term investor, hold on to your UCAP. But we that are traders, when UCAP pull back, you see back around the 5 naira, 4 naira, you can jump back into UCAP if you have sold to take profit. You don't need to panic. That's for these two stocks as we speak now. But for others who are expecting, market reaction is very important. And don't forget that those companies that do not release their unaudited fourth quarter or unaudited full year by now, we are going to see the results between now and the end of the month. But he said 60 days, and that 60 days might go because February is not to 30 days. That means either the first week of March for those companies to release their number, if they will keep toward regulatory standard. Because it's those that have released their unaudited account that have the end of March, that is 90 days to release their numbers. These are a guide for you to know how to position in this stock. For those of us that are in buy and sell signal that were positioned in some stock, yes, I will give alert to some buying this week. If you have not broken down our support, our stop loss, you hold. But if you have told us we are saying we are going to sell, we want to give you a sell signal on those stock. Why? Because the trend in the market is changing. Why I say so? I want to quickly take us to the money flow index. What we saw the money flow as at on the daily chart as at on Friday, it is same thing almost what happened in 2020. This February, the same 19th of February, the same money flow level of 8 points is what we saw there. I want to quickly call it up so that we can look at it together as a house. Can you see it here? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir. We can see it. Yes.
Okay. This money flow index for on the weekly chart. I want to take it on a daily chart. You can see that money on the daily chart is leaving the market speedily. You can see this trend going down here, and that is why you see stocks were struggling during the week. On the daily chart, funds were struggling leaving the market just because of little improvement in the money market, and also the positive news of even coming back to growth in inflation, in GDP, has not really reflected on the market. But we can see that Friday's trading was mixed because we have almost equal buying and selling position on Friday. Fine, we agree, but it has not really shown much on the market. Have not really accepted the news. We have not factored it into our trading position for the week. That's why this week we are entering, being the last trading week of the month. I'm not expecting what we call much window dressing, because every trader in the market, smart money, has position for this earning. They are not window dressing anything because they want to see the number coming before they can start selling. You can see that the smart ones took opportunity when they see UCAP touching 5 naira 57 kobo to take profit. But that doesn't mean that every one of us should sell off. That's why I said you can only sell 50% of your. Look at your position size. Start reducing your size in company that you know that even the reaction is not much. Don't sell totally, because the trend of the market can change. Like especially when we see this positive news, and also crude oil price remaining up might not attract foreign investors, because foreign investors, they are not in the market for now. But the crude oil price looking up will also help them not to sell down, despite that the economy is still because of insecurity. Because we are seeing that crude oil price is still high, they might not decide to sell down their position, will also help the market. But the market structure is being managed or owned by the institutional investor locally. And because there's little improvement in the fixed income market, especially, they are gradually selling. They are not selling that totally, because they too, they are interested in this dividend. That's why I said you should not sell totally. Let's say sell only 50% of your position. Your position size should be reduced, so that in case market go that way. But I said earlier that you always say market is a bear market when market have lost up to 20%. But good strategy to trade that one is already on ground, which we're going to discuss subsequently, and also in the coming creating float through trading, short-term trading through float. We're going to discuss this, like even on a bear market, on how can you make money from different sectors and companies. That the market is bearish, but I don't see market going total bearish in this year 2020. But market might not close as high of what we saw in 2020, because factors that still support the market, despite that is integrating little by little, they are still positioned to hold the market till the end of the earnings season. But after the earnings season, we might see a pullback if no other positive information will start coming from the government, and also because as we speak now, people are looking at the insecurity in our nation, and that is why people are not taking position in most of equity. They are looking at what the fixed income, because if you look at the regulation of even the CBN and the financial sector, people are not sure what will come up in their next MPC meeting. People are already factoring in all this into their decisions, especially the smart money. That's why you and I also should also take decision by selling any position we have made money, 50% of that position, and hold to watch, because the market trend can change at any time on the up direction. But as we speak, the earnings season will support the market on this position it is now. Yes, market breaking down 40,000 mark. Yes, it's possible. But if by next week and the first week of March, we start seeing numbers that are impressive, like what we saw in UCAP, that's why the market is going to hold the market up. For that, you don't need to panic in the market as we speak now. But let your investment go guide you. If you're a long-term investor, some companies that their dividends are impressive, yields are high, you can still take. As we speak now, the yield in UCAP is also more than 10%, about 11.66. It's still okay that you can still take there if you're a long-term investor. That's why I said our strategy for now we're going to change. Don't just keep because you are investing. No, if you're a trader, look at what's in the market, set down your 50% of your position, review your position size, and that is very, very good at this point. Also, the market also registered decline in the last week under review. The market lost just 0.6 compared to previous week 3.04, and the other week of 1.33. And the volume this time is low, from 2.68 billion in last week, the previous week, compared to this week that I was just reviewing, 1.54 billion shares. It tells that the volume, people are not ready to sell. They want to watch to see what is happening in the market. But you, as as an informed investor that are sharing knowledge, you need to start taking position that you sell half of your portfolios, especially those stocks you know that you have made money, and those stocks that has good fundamentals. You don't need to sell outrightly all your position. Sell that 50% of your position and watch. But stock like Zenith Bank, if Zenith Bank can repeat their 2 naira 50 kobo, but for what I'm hearing from the vineyard from Zenith Bank, they were saying that the possibility of them paying 260 is there. 2.60 kobo. If that happens, Zenith Bank can easily touch 28 again and 29. But if you have entered Zenith Bank at 24, see Zenith Bank at 28, you don't need somebody to tell you to go out. You need to sell because it's going to come down again. There will be correction after the dividend. That means you are not going to wait for the dividend to take those 2.50 kobo. But if you have entered at 24 and you see 4 naira capital appreciation, you better sell off and hold your money. That is how to go this time. Don't just say because Zenith Bank is good. Yes, for those that are long-term investors, they can hold. When they come down back, they can take their dividend. But for me, even though I'm a long-term investor, because long-term investors, they don't understand the market and they don't want to be selling them because of they want to look at the charges. They can hold and take their 2.60 kobo if they pay or 250 they pay. But you as a trader, please, once if you bought at 24 naira and it moves to 28, sell off and hold your cash in Zenith Bank, and you're going to buy it back down lower. This is how to trade this time, because we that are sharing the knowledge with you as a house, we need to make money together by knowing how to buy right and sell right. Is very, very important for us. We need it so that at the end of the day, we'll all smile to the bank. Don't be afraid that the market is correcting. You can see on a weekly chart what I just showed you, that money flow is leaving the market. But if you look at this position, at that same position market was in 2020. You can see the same February 2020, February 18, 19, market is still having this 3.8 and 4 money flow going down at that level before it peaked around March and February and May. And that means if there will be reversal, once we start seeing more numbers of earnings that are impressive going into the month of March, I see that the market will go up again. But with the trend we are seeing, you don't need to panic, only that you have to change your strategy. Only just change your strategy for effective trading and investing. That is only what we want to do at this point. It is very, very essential. Let us not just panic out of our position, but watch. We need to keep our eyes in the market. And I know that at the end of the day, we'll all smile to our banks. Don't just rush out, especially if you have made money. This is the time. Don't be greedy. If you are following us, don't be greedy. Always know how to cut your loss at the time when you take your profit at the same time, because profit taking is part of the market at any time. And for me, as since market is resisting further decline in terms of what we are seeing in volume and even in the losing momentum, let's see what the market, in the next week, being the last trading week of the month, I'll usher the main earnings season that will come up for the month of March. For those that have released their interim before now, those companies are capable of paying a good dividend. You need to also position in such stock. If you are there, hold and keep your eyes in the market. This is not the time to invest and start looking elsewhere. You need to understand what is happening in the market, and so that you can benefit exactly from the market. Don't just invest and go and sleep. This is the time to invest and watch the market carefully and also share idea of what is happening in the market. We don't need to panic. The result of UCAP is good. We have not seen the result, but the payout is attractive and is good. And they are giving insight what is in for UCAP for those long-term investors. And for we that are traders, we are waiting after we have sold 50% of our position now. If UCAP go to 7 naira, fine. You can now use your 50% to take position. If the trend changes, that's why I say set 50% of your size and position in those stocks we are saying now, so that we won't regret not taking action at the right time. And for those in Africa Prudential, the 50 kobo Africa Prudential will not move the price beyond what we are saying, that 7 naira, 30 kobo. What you do, if all of us are going to sell on Monday, you're going to depress the price. It's better we cut our loss and wait, because it's going to depress that stock. The stock that's selling for 7 naira, 30 kobo, giving you 50 kobo dividend, market to treat it the way it is. And if the one that pays 70 kobo has not even rally much, then compared to the one that just paid 50 kobo. On that note, we need to sell off 50% of that Africa Prudential and watch for the direction of the market in the last trading week of the month, because funds on the market, this on a daily chart, funds are leaving the market. If you go to a weekly chart, you can see that funds move down from as high as 73.21 as at last week to 66.42. It tells you also funds on the weekly basis is leaving the market. It's only on the monthly chart we say that fund is just giving a sign now. You can see that already. You can look at it. Funds also leaving the market. If you look at this sales signals or sentiment report, you can see on a monthly chart, the sell volume for the market is 89, which is high. Until buy volume for the month of February is just what? It's just 11%. It tells you that people are really sitting at the fence to watch. That is why the volume of transaction last week reduced. They are not selling. They want to know what is. They are not buying. They are not. They are selling more, but they are not buying to see what. But people are waiting. Even the selling is not much. That is why I see the volume traded was just, down compared to what I told you earlier. That for last week we had about 2.68 billion shares traded against 1.54 traded. We got that review. It tells you that they are really watching to know where the next step they should take. But this fund coming down, but if you look at the chart for the previous week, we have chart to see the previous in the month of February. February, money flow has always been between 45 and 52. And now, as at the month for 2021, we're still seeing money flow, even looking down at 66 is a sign also that there's still, market is still relying on the funds that entered the market the previous year and the previous month of January. That's why, but most of the time for the past years, for February, this period, money flow positions have always been between 42 and 52. But for this time, I see, but we would need to just be very careful for the last trading week of the of February, which we're entering next week. And I believe that on that note, what we just share, those positions you have made money, just sell 50% and watch, because funds is been looking for where it can get more return. But I tell you, people are factoring risk as we speak. You remember, even when the market was booming, so who are still buying those fixed income, having oversubscription. But now they see little improvement in it. Much funds are gradually moving down there, but those funds are going to move overnight. But can see they are going there. That means between now and end of the season, any season, we need to also look at that. I say strategy for traders and strategy for what? For long-term investor. Cut 50% down of your position size, then watch the market, so that if the market reverse in the new month of March because of more any season, you have 50% to go with that market. Then your market is going down and your position is still high. We also need to look at that at this time. That's why we need to go back and look at our position. For those in buy and sell signal, you don't need to worry. We also look at it. The one that will say should sell, will sell a lot. Like what we said the last week, that I should just sell me and Baker. It's not that me and Baker is bad or result expecting a poor result, but if you have made money in me and Baker 17% in about 4 weeks, more than after charges, it's okay for you. You can come out and see. If you sell 50% of that me and Baker, it's equally okay to watch the number that is coming. And I expect that number that will come from that healthcare sector are going to be impressive. But payout also, but when liquidity is not in the market, like I said earlier, that liquidity and sentiment is powerful in a market. It is not only the fundamental. When the market was rallying in 2020, it's not fundamental was put in the market. It's just liquidity and sentiment. And now the fundamental issue is still there in this period, but liquidity is also dwindling a bit. They will slow down in terms of market rally. But that does not mean that we can't make money in this market as we speak now. All you just need to do is just take time. For those that are guiding and those that are also have contact with us on the buy signal, and those that are on this group will always guide you on what to do when it comes to trading this period. You don't need to panic. I always say this is the time to make a wise investment decision. As you go back to the week, then call your broker. Some you have made money, don't be greedy. Just even where you have made little loss, that you can cut those loss easily. Sell 50% and go and watch. But if you want to go actually in a company that you see that what attracted you in that company has started disintegrating fast, you can sell off all the position. But for those who are expecting that their earnings will still be good, you don't need to sell attractive off. Just reduce your position size to around that 50% I've said earlier, and you now watch the market. That's where you should go this week. The market, I know many investors in the market, traders are worried already the way the market is going. I understand, but you don't need to panic. Since we are guiding and also we are all intelligent investors, we need to just do the right thing at the right time, and then we'll watch the market. Nobody will say he has 100% control of the market. Even the billionaires in the market all over the world, the market will always take you to where it's going, but your ability to predict the market is what matters. And that's why we are here to see this is what to do at this point, so that when the market reverses, you and I also will be smiling at our house. And then if you go down, we can now further reduce our stake position. But if we're income investor, dividend investor, stock that will pay good dividend, you hold on to them. don't just jump out because you are not ready to sell tomorrow. If you have entered for 1 year or entered for 2 years, you don't need to jump out. Take your dividend and watch the market. But market will always go back up again. Like I said, this year 2021 market will still close up, but not as high as having 50% we saw in 2020. But market will still close up. If you understand that, that means you should know the kind of stock and sector you should play going into the year. Yes, at the end of March, we've seen first quarter of these companies that had the same year. It also gives you insight how you should position. That's why the training is coming up in the last Saturday of March, so that we can position forward for the next second quarter of the year. Because if you understand how to use your earnings season, that is why mastering earnings video is very important. If you know how to use, you can always make money during the earnings season. It's not that you might buy all the stocks in the market. If you buy 2 or 3 stocks alone with earnings season and you make money, you now understand how to use earnings season, because in all the stocks all over the world, all of them are not good. Some stocks are good, some are bad, but they are all listed equity. But your ability to use your technical analysis and fundamental to choose the one that is okay, take position on time and sell, because market will always oscillate. This oscillation is what creates opportunity for every one of us to make money in the market. This pullback is a plus. For us, we are happy that we are buying a lower price. It's continuing to go up also good. But when market continues to go up without pullback, that means recovery also be problem. Because when market moves sharply up, and it's also going to come down sharply, but market come down gradually, pull back and continue trend again, it gives that recovery more strength. And that is what we're seeing. I expect that when market comes to a level, I'm looking at a strong resistance of 40, that if market goes to that 40,000 mark and sustain there and reverse, that would be good. But a breakdown of that was that market will further go down before it will go up again. That is what we're expecting into the new week and the new month of March. But because of the earnings season, market is not going to have a free fall. Have it in mind. Thank you and God bless you. If there's any other question or any question from the review or any other side of the question you want to ask for, stop. Let's share our minds together. Thank you very much and God bless you.
Hello, Ambrose. Thank you very much for your analysis.
Thank you, sir.
Can I ask a question?
You are very free, sir.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, sir. Very free. Go ahead,
okay,
sir.
So African Prudential that went to 7 point something.
Okay.
I'm thinking that because of the result of UCAP,
yes,
people were not anticipating that African Prudential will also be high.
The same. Okay, go ahead. I'm with you.
So I'm sure that was what shot up African Prudential to 7.30 kobo.
Yes, and that is the 50-week high of that stock. And for me, the dividend of 50 kobo, it will sustain that height. It's going to pull back.
Exactly.
And it will only rebound again close to what? Close the mark down if the price adjusts well. But also again, the holding structure and the share in issue in African Prudential is small. That is the only thing I'm looking at. But for those that are long-term investors, that's why I said they should hold. For traders, take profit and cut 50% of your position size in that stock as we speak now. Yeah.
No, when you say that for long-term investor they should hold, what do you mean by that?
If you're a dividend investor and you don't want to go in and go out, you are not trading, you can go and take your 50 kobo. Then when you pull back, you buy more. But if you're a trader at all, you don't need anybody to tell you that now that they put below what they paid in previous year, market is going to treat that result even though it comes up on Monday. Yeah.
Understand. Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Still on May and Baker, Still on May and Baker. I'm sorry that I didn't get your buy and sell signal for this week.
Okay.
It was when you now came to say that look, if you had invested so much in May and Baker, you should have earned this. That was either on Thursday or Wednesday or so. But I didn't get your buy and sell signal.
Yeah, sorry. So, I did the necessary to sort it out. Oh, sorry.
Yes, so the May and Baker result is not yet out.
It's not yet out. Yeah. That's why I said if you have sold 50, if you have sold then as at Thursday, then what you look at now, the result. That's why I said most of the stock we are now that we expect good results, sell 50% if you are in profit and watch. So that if May and Baker result come, because that same result, May and Baker is also on the hold side of the signal. But because there's a lot, because we have surpassed the target we set for May and Baker.
Yes.
That's why we're selling because I surpassed the target, our set target. In investor, we don't play with that set target. Whenever I touch it, we want to let you to know. Unless you want to hold back on your own, fine. But if you look at the whole column is there because we know that the result was also going to be okay. But because market is not ready to result much as expected because of liquidity of the thing, you need to take a wise decision. The one that made profit now can be selling that. As I say, you can sell 50% of your position as we speak. Yeah. Hello.
Hello, thank you. I'm okay.
Okay, sir. Any other question? Yeah.
I'm okay.
Any other question in the house? Yeah. Hello? Yeah, okay, sir.
Hello, Ambrose. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Ambrose, how do you see flour mills?
Yeah, flour to me, the performance is impressive and is good. And if you are positioning flour mill now for their coming full year number where they will pay dividend, good. But
yes,
for the market situation now, if you have made profit in the flour mill, you need to also take your profit in that stock. Because if market become dull, you affect both those stocks that are going to pay dividend and also have in mind that flour mill is not a December stock. That you said because of dividend, people want to enter ahead. No, they are going to come in around June, July next 3 months time to come. On that note, if you are there, you have made money. I would say you take your profit in flour mill. But if you pull back, it's a good buy because we have seen that their first quarter, their second quarter and third quarter was impressive. And on that note, you don't need to say, oh, I'm afraid to buy. Once you pull back, you can jump in. But for now, if you're in profit, sell. But if market continue in this direction, most stocks will shed some weight so that when they come down, you pull back. Yeah.
Because the market is actually going down.
Yeah, I've showed them the money flow index and also the buying size, the buying position is reducing. People are doing up more selling size than the buying side. But all because one, if you look at the holding structure, is that the local investors are the one holding the market. But for me, the history of Nigeria, why you see that the oil price is going up, our market is not going up, because foreign investors are not in our market now. Foreign investors penetrate our market with oil. When they see oil going up, they come. But because they are not in our market now, it's only the local investors. But the only good thing he has done for us that seeing oil going up, remaining foreign investors in the market will not sell. If they are selling, we would have seen market depressed more than what we are saying. Because the oil is going up, they are not selling the way they're supposed to. If they have started selling, market will be worse than what we are saying now.
Will be worse than, okay.
For that, I'm not afraid of anything because the local investors, which are institutional investors, most of them are PFA, they know why they're market. Now they want to align their portfolio. Now that there's a little improvement in fixed yield market, the fixed income market, they will gradually be rebalancing their portfolio or realigning their portfolio. But that should not send fear for us because they understand the market also when to play, and also because of the rules in the market that they have some percentage to also put in equity. I don't see the market. That's why I said market will close possibly up for 2021, but not on the rate of almost 50% again that we saw in 2020. It will be up. It might be with 5% or 10 or 2%, but market will close up this year because it's a recovery. The breakthrough in a vaccine and the breakthrough as oil is coming up will support the recovery of the economy globally, which also trickle down to Nigeria economy. It's just because our insecurity is just on the high side. People are ready to defense.
People are scared. The foreign investors are scared too.
These are the only things I see. But once the new service chiefs were able to nip it at the board with a strategy, and that will also help us. And also, it's just because the market has not factor in the news of coming out of recession, which is good. Despite that it's still at a low pace. Fine, we agree, but recession and growth and recovery are not the same thing. Now we are still in a recovering trend. Fine, for me, that also should also help the market. But we know that our market before now are not supported by economic and fundamental. It's just a sentiment and liquidity. And that's still the only that liquidity is still now finding way to fix income gradually. That is why we are seeing the kind of low in the market, this kind of slowdown in the market. So for me, on the long run, it's a good thing. Let's watch. Any season will also hold this market to a level because, as I said, we'll have different investment objectives and different sets of people playing the market. Some are playing for dividends, some are playing for I know that traders are high, but those dividend investors will also want to take dividend. That's why market will not just have a free fall this season at all. Let's just watch. If the economy also go into the second quarter, that will also support the market again.
And now the numbers are coming out. So people are optimistic, positioning for, especially the dividend people, they are positioning for good dividend.
Yeah. That will also help the market. That's it. That will have different motives in the market, will have different objectives. Those that are praying for dividend. And also, if you look at the nature of the fund that from PFA, they are also dividend people. Seeing stock that had dividend yield, they might also hold. But that's why I say, let's just watch the market entering into the main earnings season. These early filers that are coming in, and these early filers, they are very few. Once the result is off now, the main result that will shape the market will come in March. And if there's no negative news, and if oil rebound again and keep on the trend, it's also going to be a plus. Despite that, it has not supported the market. As I said, it's because foreign investors are not coming in. Before now, foreign investors don't have dominated our market. That is why when oil is going up, our price will be going up in the market. But because they are not in the market, oil is going up, market is going down. But that also support the market that because oil, they are not selling quickly to run away. They know that our reserve, no matter will be boosted by oil going up. That's why they are not selling to rush out. They won't even want to take their dividend if they are not selling at this point. Also, they are waiting for dividend. But let's just watch the market in the new week and the new month, as all eyes are on earnings.
Hello, Ambrose. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
You made mention of the market is going to close at the end of the year 2021. We are still in February. I was thinking that you were talking about the month of February.
No, February. I said February for the first trading week of the month is in red. I said market lost 1.66 in first week, second week 3.04. But in the last week that we're reviewing now, market just lost 0.6. I mean, market is resisting what decline on the month. But for the week we are entering, it is the number that will determine whether the market. But for February is already in red. That's why we're looking at March. March is when I said that is the last quarter of the year. You know that last quarter of the year is also where you see window dressing because of the last quarter. All those big firm managers, smart money want to make their quarter position to be better so they can earn them. But for the month of February, nobody will try to reposition anything because they know that market has been down. Also, they are all looking at they are all looking ahead to any season, which is also starting. And these two that come or that came to the market, the Nigeria Brewery 60 Kobo, the 869 Kobo, Africa Prudential, 50 Kobo and UCAP 70 Kobo won't change the market for month of February unless there's another positive that will come next week. Market February is going to close in red. But in March, because it's the end of the quarter, the PFAs or the smart money will want the market to close a bit up. And also anything is that period, market will go up. That is why first quarter may likely close up ahead because of what those that are doing, those that are positioning for portfolio, rebalancing, window dressing at the end of the quarter. That is the issue. There is no problem for February. February is going to close in red. As we speak now, February have lost 5.23 already. That is why the year to date has turned to a negative of 0.21.
What of Zenith Bank? I thought they filed in February.
Yeah, they filed. I said they filed, but I was not to be in the market by next week. But they don't have how would I put it now? The power that it must come next week because they have to send it to regulator CBN to approve. But since they sent it earlier, it might still come next week because if you look at the trend, for example, let's quickly look at this. This is our chart again. If you look at this chart here, look at the date UCAP released their number. UCAP, let's just go to UCAP. UCAP, it will give you an insight. Are you seeing there? Hello? Are you there? Hello? Hello?
Yes, we are
Hello?
here. We
can hear you. We are here.
Okay.
We are here.
You can see that for 2020, UCAP released their result on the 18th of February. And they don't release that same result on the 19th of on that same date again. That means they are keep to what you can use it to plan. You can see that February 18, the previous year was February 21, February 26, February 26. You can see that they are consistent. Then if you look at Africa Prudential, the same time they released their own the previous year on 25 February. They did this one now on the 19th. There's a little improvement coming early to the market. This should guide you. Why is a lot of Disney Bank? Look at Disney Bank here as well. Said Disney Bank was the result on the 21st, and 21st fall to be what Sunday. And if CBN approved their result, as expected, that means by next week we should expect Zenith Bank result. And I said earlier that Zenith Bank, there's already rumor on the market they're likely to pay 260 because they are saying that if the chairman cannot influence most things in the bank because he's chairman, the only way he can benefit more from the operation is to encourage for dividend, growth in dividend, which other investors like you and I will benefit. If that happens, they pay, because their earnings can support that 260. If that happens, it will push Zenith Bank to around 28, 25, which I said, if you have entered Zenith Bank at 24, don't be waiting for that 260 or 250 at 28. You have made 4 naira, you come out from that store. Because when there is general market correction, Zenith Bank will still come down. You cannot buy. That means you cannot sell the Zenith Bank on earnings when they are not good number and market reacts positively to it. But if the results come and it beat expectation, the market will react to it. Only that in Zenith trend, most times when results come, that is your market, people start dumping Zenith Bank. That is the trend in Zenith Bank. It's only towards the markdown that it reverse up again. But let's see how it plays this year because the yield is still high, it's still above 10%. That might also, because the structure of the market holding structure have changed. Before, know that foreign investors are the one that collected, but now that was since last year, around the second half of the year, 2020, the local investor, international investor, they change the market. You will sell us in the bank, will know. But for me, I don't see that because it's one of the main dividend paying stock which support the rules in the PFA that your buy company that paid good dividend. If they are seeing good yield in Zenith Bank and they're already there, I don't see that don't put Zenith Bank with a good dividend that will come from there. Because before now it is the foreign investor, I know that when they see result, it's just there. But now, if those playing the market are also dividend people, company that considering dividend payment will not suffer much during this earnings season because they have the chunk of fund in the market is the PFAs and other institutional investors. I'm just showing you this so that you know that these are the dates we're expecting this result. And it's only a few companies that comes in February. Most of the companies here are March date. That means after, let me take you down to Dangote. Dangote is another company that released results in February. But if you look at Dangote now, I said earlier, during the week, they notify exchange that they changed their board meeting. Initially, before, between 26 February, 27, they released the result of March. But now that they've rescheduled for their board meeting, you don't know when their result is coming. That's why ideally it should come this week you are entering. These are how you should look at when. But if you look at Lafarge or WAPCO is one of the late filers, in the market. It don't come, the result don't come early. Unless because, like I said, if a child that perform well, you always run to the market, to the father when you hear the horns on the back. If you do that, logic, their numbers are good, it might come early this time. But if you look at the trend, the history, they don't release results early. In 2020, they released their result March 6th, and then the previous year was the 19th of June. April 9, you can see they are late filers in terms of their audited result. But if the numbers are good in WAPCO and they released earlier, it's going to support their price. Now that the price is oscillating between 27 and 25, 24. But for me, if you are in WAPCO too, if you enter WAPCO earlier around the 15 naira, this also you can call it sell half. But if you have bought WAPCO at 28, all you don't need to do is just watch the market. When you see the stock going back around 27, you can quickly also sell off. And if the market begin to maintain this downtrend, but if there is change from next week, I see that WAPCO will come to a good result. And also the way WAPCO is going, WAPCO strategy might also support them this year very well. That means if you're a long-term investor in WAPCO, you don't need to panic. It's only traders that will be going selling in and out. But for WAPCO, long-term investor, hold your position in WAPCO. You don't need to sell or anything in WAPCO if you're a long-term investor, because the dividend yield in WAPCO compared to others in that industry is better, and their numbers are improving, coming up. If they may sustain that improvement, the price will also go back to 31 if liquidity also start coming to the market. Yeah. Okay. Any other question?
Hello, sir.
I'm with you, sir. Go ahead.
Please, sir, is it wise to take to position yourself on GTB right now? because it's traded at 30 naira 40 kobo. So
Yes, yes. The market before now has positive sentiment for GTB, but since so this financial, this last financial year, when there's COVID-19, there was a lot of changes, operation. People confidence gradually is dropping in GTB. But if you look at the payout of GTB will pay within the range of 2 naira 50, which GTB as in the bank always pay. But if GTB is going to pay that same amount, it is sentiment that will move GTB up, and also the shareholding structure of GTB. But at 30 naira 40 kobo, GTB is not a bad buy. That means if GTB can go back to 35, 36, one can come out. But it is the sentiment that will drive. It is not that because of the number in the market. We all know that Zenith Bank is a leader in terms of profitability, and the price is lower. A good investor wants to take more yield in Zenith Bank. But because of sentiment, that GTB might go up. But for me, people want to settle for Zenith Bank than going to GTB. But we in investors are already in GTB at around 30, 32, 34. But we're still waiting. We're not selling to see the results. If you can go back to the price we bought, will come out, because the trend in the market is changing now. So you have to also keep your eye in the market. Buying GTB now, for me, it's not a bad one. You can buy, but keep your eyes in the market, because the trend might change. Because the sentiment for GTB might put the price back to 36.
Okay.
Hello?
Can I send it again?
Hello?
Hello?
please
Hello?
tell people to mute their microphone.
Send it separate.
Hello, Ambrose.
Can you hear me?
This recently released numbers for these twin companies, AfriPrud and UCAP.
Okay.
Honestly, one expected the AfriPrud to pay the normal AfriPrud to pay the 70 kobo,
yes,
which they paid earlier.
Yes.
And maybe UCAP 50 kobo or 60.
50 kobo, yes.
But reverse is the case. So I see people dumping AfriPrud for UCAP now.
Yes, that was it. That you should sell our UCAP, what's it called, Prudential 50%, because towards Magda in my bank's bank, but just sell your 50% and watch. The trend in the market can change. It's about liquidity and sentiment. But sell 50% of your holding.
But I know that UCAP might be on the upward movement for
now. Yes, I agree with you.
UCAP might be on the upward movement for now, because that 70 kobo, even as at now, the dividend yield is over 11%.
11.66 or 11.65. It's okay.
11.66, yes. So I see that stock inching to 750 or thereabout.
That's why I said, if you are selling 50%, the one that you are keeping, you are rallying with it. Like what happened in Africa, what's it called, in Waku? There's a client that have Waku. Then when he bought at 24 naira, when Waku touched around that 28, 29, he sold just some part and take the profit. The ones there is still at 24 naira. That means if Waku go back to 26, 27, he's still already in profit. That's why I said the ones that are profit, say 50% of your dollar. When it bounce up again, you are still in profit. That is it. We need to change our strategy. We're seeing the market sentiment changing. We also have to change our strategy and follow the market. This way we make money. Whether market is down or up, there's always opportunity in the market.
Honestly, I missed some opportunity in Zenith Bank. I entered Zenith at 21, 22. So when it went as high as 27, 28, I was just being greedy. I didn't seize the opportunity. I left it, hoping that it will hit 30. Unfortunately, it came down back to 24, and selling it now doesn't make sense, because I will just be paying commission to the brokers with my profit.
You also learn a lesson too now, that you always
I've learned a lesson, so I'm stuck in it. Though I'm on profit, but then I can't sell. Because I bought at 22.
You can see the back. You can see what the results by next week. Let's see. But even at your 20, 4 now, up to 25 now. If you bought at 21, you're already in profit of more than 15%. Not to stop you for selling that stock. Selling the half and keep half. No, it's about strategy. Don't just because you have to set a strategy that work for you. That's why I always guide. So that you know what to do.
Honestly, I think the best strategy is to fix an exit percentage.
Yeah.
Maybe 20-25, I think, and stick to it. Otherwise,
no. 20-25 to me is that you let it be between 15 to 20. You go in and come out. Then when the market rally, you make 50, fine. But you have a goal that I always guide you.
Okay, 15 to 20, I think is best because I had up to 30% in Zenith, 35. I felt
you want to make
50%. I want to make 50%, which is a bitter lesson for me. I've learned a lesson too. So
it's okay, sir.
And having seen it, it got to 27, 28, I didn't sell. So coming to sell at 24, 25 now becomes so reluctant.
No, you have to make up your mind and take action.
I'm even considering, one of the things I'm considering is even taking the 2 naira 50 or 2 naira 60 dividend.
Depends on your investment.
So that will further reduce my carrying cost to about 19 naira.
Don't forget that they will mark down the 2 naira 50 again now.
No, I said that 25 now. If they mark it down, it will come to 22.50, maybe thereabout.
Okay.
And by the time I less the 250 from my 22 naira to 21 naira, it will reduce further to 19 naira.
Okay.
So,
no problem, sir. It's a good one.
Maybe at that point I may decide to sell after taking the dividend.
Okay. No problem, sir.
But I've learned my lesson. I've learned one of the things I've learned is not to be in love with any stock as a trader.
I always preach that on this forum. That
yes, you always say it. Don't love any stock. Just to make money from it and leave this thing. I think so. No I've problem. Been holding Zenith so close to my heart as if I love the stock.
That made you money now. You can say now. No problem, sir. Thank you very much. Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you.
Ambrose, what's happening to Jais Bank?
Jais Bank is, for me, there's nothing negative in Jais Bank. It's just market trend. You know, Jais Bank, also, they want to expand their business. I think they want to raise additional funds to expand, which is good. But for price oscillation, it's part of the market, mood and trend. You don't need to panic if you're in Jais Bank, because Jais Bank, they are like I said, that is one of the penny stocks that I know that has, fundamental that can support the price at any time. Now they are going to looking for fund to expand their business. You know that their business is different from normal commercial business. For me, if you are there for dividend, they are still going to give you no how the 3 kobo they paid last time. But for that stock, I know the kind of settlement some set of people in Nigeria has for that bank, and that also will play out immediately. When they are after the raising of their fund. For me, if you are there, just hold on. Only that as you are watching the market trend, when you see the market trend changing, there are some stock that you want to sell, as I said, 50% of your holding to hold cash. We will continue to do our weekly meeting so that we can all share such stock, so that we can know how to sell down and also hold cash. No problem.
And even Transcorp too is, even though they don't pay dividend, but I can see that capital appreciation is always there in Transcorp. It's always up and down.
For Transcorp, my position was that if you are not there in Transcorp now, just hold on for them to release their result. With the investment they are doing, Transcorp, as from second quarter, will have they will change in their numbers, and that is where market will recognize Transcorp performance and everything they are doing now. They start looking at. But if they release their full year, which is expected to be negative, and not expect them to pay dividend, and market will react to the negative result, it will pull back. That is the time also
you pull back.
You will jump in.
Pull back, that's true.
If you jump in, you will now wait till already entering the last month of the quarter. As from second quarter, the result will start improving. That's that. If you're already in Transcorp now, you don't need to sell now. If you look at Transcorp for about 1 month now, the volume of trade has been on an increase. Who is buying, who is selling? Yeah. People are accumulating that stock for what they are seeing for a long term. When you see result come and pull back, even though you are there before, increase your stake to dilute your price and hold. I know that from second quarter there will be an improvement in their numbers. It will change, but they might not pay dividend. They might not pay dividend for the year ended 2020, but their number might be when it comes, market will react to it that is red. But when it comes down, that is the increase your stake, because
I know people will definitely dump it.
No, their investment in alpha plant and the oil, their oil extraction they just bought from that will also start playing that out from not first quarter, as from second quarter. That is why when you see this result pull back in this this period of any season because of no dividend or red account, jump into Transcorp and wait for the second quarter to start coming. That is how you should invest in Transcorp.
And it's a very liquid stock.
Yeah, it's liquid. So their share in issue is also large.
Yeah, it's very large. Yeah.
It's
almost to 40
with
billion.
us or we be with stock.
Please, what is the increase per share of Transcorp as a third quarter?
It's a negative position. I can't remember what one.
Is it request for it or we need to request?
What's happening to MTN?
You see, if you people didn't take care of it, then one log day.
Hello, Ambrose.
I'm with you. Go ahead. Hello, go ahead.
Between 80 and 85. Hello, Mr. Ambrose.
MTN is a stock that you should position and hold. Don't sell up MTN, just hold MTN. MTN will rally on a sentiment. And also look at MTN. There have been a volume of transaction in MTN. It tells you that people have an interest in MTN. MTN being a defensive stock in nature, most of the high cap stocks, concerning them, that is where you see most of these PFAs and most of the high network investors want to protect their capital, knowing that Ether is selling at high as 900. Sentiment for MTN will come up now that government are also giving them permission to start registering individuals in Nigeria to get their identification number. And data is on the new trend in the economy in the world is that everybody's going online. I see that MTN will bounce back. MTN price at below 200 naira is, for me, it's a cheap one compared to what we saw, what we're seeing in Ether. And these are the two major giants in that industry. And MTN has the market. The price cannot remain at this level. If you're an MTN, don't panic, hold your position, it will bounce back. Yes, the dividend might not be enough to support the price, but sentiment will push the price, not the dividend.
Hello.
Hello, Ambrose.
Hello, Ambrose.
Yeah, one after the other, sir. Okay, go ahead. Hello.
Hello, Ambrose.
I'm with you. Go ahead.
Still on Transcorp.
Okay.
I think that people should go all out on for it for now, because if you look at their last statement, there is the commitment of Transcorp and Hess Holding. Nobody is telling us who is having the majority of the investment in that oil block. It is Hess Holding that took the loan, that obtained the loan from banks to invest in the oil blocks. Okay. And at the end of the day, when you come to tell us who the positioning, who has the majority, so they should tell us what is the stake of Transcorp in that investment, not just to say Hess Holdings, and because we know Hess Holding is the majority shareholder in Transcorp.
Mm-hmm. Okay, just to add to what you just said.
Not tell us who bought what, who has what percentage of it is that of Transcorp, so that investors will now be able to measure their investment and the amount of risk they can take in that investment.
Okay, I just to add to what you just said now. As at 2017, that was the last time that the Transcorp result carried a breakdown of the holding structure of Transcorp. Now to date, they don't give us such information again. But when I nose around in the market, I know that the hedge holdings is almost having more than, how would I put it now, even though having the highest stake in Transcorp, even hedge holdings, the one, even borrowing the money to help them to buy or to represent them, it's a good thing for Transcorp, but they are not making it overt for the public. I asked questions. They said, yes, this headholding represents social person. They tell the people that are main headholding, but they don't want to release information that this is what they are holding. And also, it is now done on the regulators who are also, most of them are in this group, that let's have such information. They said the last time they released such information was 2017, 2016, that they give out a breakdown of the holding structure of Transcorp. But now, since then, they don't give such information again. And it has changed that some people have increased their stake in Transcorp. That's why I said, when we start seeing volume for over a month, some people are also buying Transcorp at this price. For one thing, that Transcorp will turn around very soon. That's why I said, if you are an investor, when they release their full year result, I'll still say it again, and it's bad, and market right to it, the price comes down. You know you are there already, increase your stake. Because when a company is into utility, it's all part of the world that was complaining. A company is no utility business will always make money. It's all because Nigerians are not, now we are not too transparent. If not, Transcorp is a place that will make money. But only thing I will say again is that Transcorp one day, they might try to take energy, all the power away, which our ears on ground to know again, so that we'll not just hold Transcorp as a name. They plan to do Transcorp plant will come with time, the way they have a Transcorp hotel. That will come, but they've not made it overt now when it's going to happen. But as we speak now, Transcorp goes together with the power and the oil are together, and the agriculture, fine. We agree, but as an investor, when you see that full year result and it's bad, even though it's good, but I know they're going to be bad, when it comes down, buy Transcorp. Going forward, we expect better things from them. Thank you. Mr. Nonso, your hand is up. Can we hear from you? Your question? Yeah. Hello? Hello?
Okay, Ambrose, if he's not asking, let me ask my question.
Yeah.
Hello, Mr. Ambrose.
Yeah, okay, go ahead. Okay. Go ahead, sir. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, the CAP PLC.
Which one? Come again.
CAP.
Okay, CAP. Okay.
We learned that they acquired Portland Paint.
Yes.
And is it good for somebody to jump in, like you always said?
You know, in that merger, they has a stronger position because one, they are bringing a better paint, Portland Paint to expand their paint as a subsidiary or section of the business, which is good. But as we speak now, after the merger, people are saying that the angle of comment, the Portland Paint is one that is gaining the comment, the merger now because of the price move from almost 1 naira to almost 3 naira. Fine. But going forward, it's going to boost the performance of CAP because of that their paint business will be expanded, and also because Portland also have market with their own market, I think they will do more in that. That will support the bottom line of CAP. And CAP pulling back to around 18 naira for me is attractive. Only that CAP did not pay dividend the previous year. Whether they will pay this year, we can't say, but their numbers do not support also a good dividend compared to their price. But this is the price that, you know, the US price has touched around 14, 15 before it bounce back. At 18 is also good. You can buy, take some holdings in CAP, just small, and wait and see if it drops further, you can buy. But for me, there's a prospect for CAP. And that is why company like UACN, it's not because that company result would also kind of what I call a financial engineering their result. But because CAP is doing well, livestock is doing well, I see that company also have a little improvement going forward. Because when CAP is doing well, and agricultural sector is doing well, and government is giving incentive agriculture for livestock, it's going to also reflect more on because they want to contribute on UAC bottom line. Because UAC has almost 76% of livestock. That's why if you are investing in livestock, for me, your CAP is okay for you to go, but don't take your position at this level. Or if you want to buy 1 million units, you can take a position of 400 or 350 and watch the trend. Because I know that they might pay dividend because they didn't pay the previous year. They can't stay 2 years without paying dividend.
Thank you very much.
So Ambrose,
yes, sir.
Can I ask my question?
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, mine is still on Africa Prudential, and then the banks, especially for style banks.
Okay.
If their results are coming out, because you talk about Zenith Bank, don't we anticipate that the prices will also appreciate? Prices for those stocks, Zenith Bank, Access Bank, UBA, Guarantee Trust Bank. And then for African Prudential, I'm sure that most of us made a mistake because either the second quarter or third quarter result was not all that good. You were talking about it before. You know, that was last year. It was not all that good. And perhaps we should have anticipated that their final result will not be as good.
Yes, I mentioned it during the verse 20. That is why it's not among the 10 golden stock. But because you know, it's one of the most consistent dividend paying stock in the market, especially in that non-financial sector. UCAP and the Africa Prudential, they are consistent. That is why when we saw that UCAP was rallying and it took time for it to move, we saw there is a support level. That is why we enter for the result, because you know we always know how to vet in any season. Any season, it's always what to check on your technical analysis, even when you are using to know whether it's at a support level or a breakout. When we saw that it was a good place to jump in, but when result came, that's why in any equity investment, you don't hold stock like wife. Once it didn't meet your expectation, your cost loss immediately. That is what I said. You should sell off the Africa Prudential 50% and more, because you don't say because you bought it at no cost loss and this position. For the other one you mentioned, I forgot you mentioned
the banks like Zenith Bank,
the bank,
Access Bank. As their result come out, as their results will be released, don't we think that their prices will also appreciate?
Personally, I don't see it appreciating much. If you look at the trend, even from last year, the banking sector have not rallied. You know, the economy, you know, being the engine of economy, is also reflecting on the performance of the bank. Their numbers are flat. For first quarter, second quarter, and third quarter last year was flat. Even when the markets were rallying, it was this industrial sector that moved the market in 2020 to what it is, because that was the sector that really rallied. It supported the market. But if you look at that range, for last year, the banking sector return was not up to around 13% for a whole year. And this year, they've not moved because of perception, but it's only this number they are going to release. If their dividend path remain constant or they grow their dividend, that is where market can react to it. But I don't see them going, you know, doing something fantastic. But they can maintain their payout, and because they are a very liquid sector, one can go in and out. But again, let's know that among them that just release the FUGA, it's only one that release no unaudited account, which that is First Bank. That means First Bank results will not come early, because they have up to the end of March to release. But for those like Zenith Bank, GTB, Access, and UBA, because they not released their unaudited for full year 2020, the result will come between now and first week of March, because they have 60 days to read the result after their year end. That 60 days is 60 trading days. We don't put Saturday on Sunday, and that means still like first week of March they can still release the result. That means between this week we're entering and first week we can see some of these FUGAs to release the result. That also will help the market depend on their performance and their payout. You saw what happened last week. Now just Friday, that the dividend news coming from Africa Prudential, UCAP, and lately was Nigeria. Nigeria will know. I said earlier from that, why would I be holding the stock for 60 naira? It's paying me 69 kobo. It doesn't make any sense. No, that also was going to play out. People will be selling some stock to enter some stock. That means there are some people that are in Nigeria that are now seeing their result, want to sell that stock and move to the one that high dividend yield. That's why I said next week we want to see how the market is going to play out.
Okay. What of fixing?
No, fixing, the number of fixing is strong. Fixing pulling back for me is a good one. Just like fixing, me and Baker and Nimet, all of them pull back last week, and this one is a good one. Those that have took their profit on those stocks should not wait when they come down, and their numbers will come in March. We're already in February. If you pull that again, you can still even enter lower. When the number comes, you sell up if market, because most of these healthcare results, their number has been good on a quarterly basis. Their full year will be only that their payout is what we're concerned. Most of them before now, their payout is low. With their numbers improving, would they increase their payout? What we saw in the UK was their performance improved, because we have seen in their third quarter, that's why their payout was up. But this sector that government is doing intervention in this healthcare, they will allow to pay good dividend. That's what I'm saying. That means if you have made money in capital appreciation in those sectors, fine, you can set down. Then when price goes down, you can buy, because the result will come in March, and that March we are from second week of March. Then price comes down, you can buy again and take position when they pay the result and it is good. Market react to it, you not come out of it. This is how to. That's why you need to get that margin any season. That's why I tell you that even though we are not making money every month of the world, learn how to make money every quarter of the year. That means 4 times of the year. Just not to buy your position. You come out, you buy your position. That alone will guide you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir. Mr.
Hello, Ambrose.
Mr. Alonso, your hand is up. We want to hear you. I think you want to ask a question. Okay. Mr. Becky, too, your hand is up. You can go ahead. Mr. Becky.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Mr. Ambrose.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Please, I want you to throw more light on can somebody buy Access, UBA, and Dangote Sugar now, believing that when the dividend is declared, the price will appreciate? That is one. Then secondly, from the question somebody asked, is it still possible for one to sell without expecting the dividend? When the price increases, you sell and forget about the dividend, or you can still hold on to the dividend and immediately after the dividend date, you sell? Is this thing possible?
Okay, what is possible is that as you are buying, you have set a goal for yourself, and you need your target that you want to achieve. If, for example, now I mentioned that I said Zenith Bank, if you enter at 24 naira, and they release the result of 2 naira 50 or 2 naira 60 kobo, and the price moves to 28 naira, you don't need somebody to tell you to sell. One, the capitalization is more than the dividend they have declared. If they mark down, you'll still be there. But if you are taking your dividend they declare and capital appreciation already, factor it in. You now wait for another opportunity to put down. When they mark down, you can enter again if the market maintain a stronger sentiment. Fine. But for the Access Bank, Dangote Sugar, for me, First Bank, their payout is low, and for that, I don't see what First Bank will pay that will move the price to 10 naira or 9 naira again. I think that have been oscillating between.
Not First Bank. I mean Access Bank, UBA.
Okay. Sorry. For Access Bank, Access pullback for me is a good one, but Access is so conservative in dividend payment. Access don't pay, but Access capital appreciation is sure. Their price can move for capital appreciation, but for dividend, they won't pay you more that will support the price. If you are looking for dividend, it is UBA that you look with, UBA and Dangote Sugar. Dangote Sugar, I expect that because of the improvement in sugar business, we expect that Dangote Sugar should give us a better number for the full year. Also, if you look at the company, they have also maintained their dividend payout. That 1 naira 10 kobo. If numbers improve, they might pay a better dividend. For me, for dividend, go for UBA and Dangote Sugar. But for capital appreciation, go for Access Bank. Access Bank, they are not good in dividend that will support that will drive their price, but they can move their price. They know how to manage their price will go up. But for others like UBA will like, okay, for what we saw in UCAP and Africa Prudential, UBA also try to pay that their 1 naira, even though they cut their interim to 14 naira, they might have to come out with 86 kobo to make it that same 1 naira to maintain that price. And you know that it's around that will be about 9% yield. The UBA can do that for you, and that also drive the price of UBA up a little when the result comes to the market, depending on the numbers itself.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Okay, Ambrose, can I ask my question now?
Yeah, go ahead. Yes, sorry, I asked your hand up. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, I want to find out when is Police Microfinance Bank going to release their results from previous year's trend? That's number one.
Okay.
Then number two, I saw that Stanbic lost 10% on Friday's trading.
Okay.
Is there any negative news coming from that table, or why is this so? And what's the probability that they will pay a good dividend at the end of the financial year? Then the third question, NASCON, National Salt.
Okay.
What is their EPS as a third quarter, and what's the probability that they will pay a good dividend this time around? I know last year they paid 40 kobo, dropping down from about 1 naira 10 or so the previous year. Those are my questions.
Okay, for the Police Microfinance, I'm quickly checking the table to find out the date for the release, but I know the result comes in March. In March, they are not February, early filers. It comes in March, and also they've released also their unaudited account already before now. That means we expect the result between the second week in March or the last week in March. That's for that. And also, if that company maintain their payout, I see that from the number we're seeing, the unaudited account, the EPS of 39, 38 kobo, they can afford to pay you 20, 24, 25 kobo. If that is done, that stock will move above 250 kobo. Only that the liquidity in the market will determine. I say that sentiment and liquidity will determine, and the dividend payout. You saw what happened in UCAP. UCAP said that market reacted to that result, but despite that, they slowed down. It touched as high as 6 naira 57. But the market reacted, they saw that result, it was good. They reacted to that dividend news. That means if going forward that dividend news comes, it is sustaining to the next day that matters. We want to see how the market will react to that UCAP by Monday. But now we have seen Africa Prudential, people will also be selling Africa Prudential to buy UCAP, and that also there will be more demand for UCAP. That means those that have sold 50% of UCAP before now, we need to also enjoy the rally when it goes up, because you have some stock. Like I said, you know how to reduce your position size when you see that market is not having that same direction we saw at the early of the year and the December. And that as well. But for National Salt, they don't have their third quarter offer with me. I can give that later, their EPS. But from what they paid, their dividend, they paid the previous year 40 kobo. I see that there will be improvement in their next dividend payout. I don't see them just leaving their dividend at that 40 kobo, considering the price they are selling. If they pay anything, I know that 40 kobo is going to put the price down comparing to the price. For me, that is for that. But for Stanbic, Stanbic payout right for time is not too attractive. Only that Stanbic has a shareholding structure that support the price, and it's one of the defensive stock in the banking sector that people can play with. It's not that because of their performance. And I see that from the result the earnings we are seeing for third quarter, they can afford to pay. But don't forget that they cut their interim dividend for 2020. That alone, people are expecting that are they going to cut their full year? That's why people are even hesitating it to go and buy dividend paying stock. That's why you saw it's just market activity that you saw in that Stanbic as at yesterday. People sell down. People don't sell to move others because after looking at the dividend yield compared to the price, there are other smaller stocks in that market that will give you better yield. That's why people are just relying on their portfolio. But because of the shareholding structure of Stanbic, the price will always be a bit stable. Yeah.
Hello, Mr. Ambrose.
Thank you.
Hello, Mr. Ambrose.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. I have a question for respect of Dangote Cement.
Okay.
Bear in mind that there was a reverse. This December buyback.
Okay.
And we saw that the price rallied also about maybe 245 or thereabouts.
Yeah.
But it's now trading at about less than 210.
Okay.
So I'm thinking, is it a good time to enter into Dangote Cement?
Dangote Cement, for me, at this time, at this price, for me, you have to stop it and let the price pull back, unless there is information we're having. If you look at the payout policy of the company, I don't see Dangote Cement paying 20 naira from their earnings for this financial year 2020. If they do that, that would have supported the price to rally. But because
the last dividend they paid was 16 naira.
I know. Like, okay. If you look at the strength of the earnings for third quarter, that does not support 20 naira dividend.
Okay.
It doesn't, and that if they pay anything, around that 16 naira, the price will not rally much. And what put the price for 2020 is not because of the performance of the company itself. It's just because of the buyback policy and buyback approval from the shareholders. There's a time frame that they have to do before the end of the year. That's why the price moved. And people were expecting that they would do that continually, but after it now, the price will remain static. For me, let the price pull back a bit down before can jump. If I see that stock around 180, 170, I would advise. But anything above 20 naira, we have to still watch Dangote.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Hello, Ambrose.
Yeah, I have Oluwa Toyin to ask. Hand is up. You can ask your question. Lawrence, your hand is up. You can ask your question. And Abubakar, yeah.
Okay, this is Lawrence here. Okay. Yeah, you just touched on Stanbic IBTC. Looking at that stock, it has fallen from around 45 to around 38.7. That's almost 14%. As you said, it's one of the defensive stocks that we have here. It's one of the defensive stocks. Will it be good to enter in for long term? Not for dividend per se, because kind of a long-term stock. I don't know.
Yeah, for long term, I think one can buy that stock for long term. You know, depending on your own, because the shareholding structure has also that price are a bit stable. Even when it comes down, it bounce back easily compared to other banks because of their share. And also, you know, that is why other banks are going into the holding structure. Because of their holding structure, you see, they make money. But look at their third quarter results. So it's a bit okay, not too bad. But it shows that they have other business they are doing. It reflected compared to other banks' number for that third quarter. For me, if you are thinking long term for Stanbic, at this pullback, one can look at it. But don't because of the dividend, because they cut their interim dividend down for interim. They might likely not pay much again, and they pay higher time because of what they are institutional investor, which has much in the company. Those who make them happy. You know, it's a South Africa company that has a bank that has much there. They want to recover their money back, and also any foreign activities or most of foreign transaction is done through them, and that's why their numbers are good. You know, this company like YoCap, Stanbic IBTC, these are where you see most of the foreign activities go through for transaction. For me, if you are thinking long for Stanbic, it's a good one. You can go ahead. Very free.
Hello.
Hello, are you there?
Hello, Mr.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, please, I want to know your stake on Vitaphone. Is it good to buy now?
Vitaphone.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Vitaphone result for first quarter was fantastic. I will tell you that, and also being an ally of all this healthcare business. You know, since the breakout of COVID-19.
Vitaphone. Is it an ally of this thing? I thought they sell.
No, they are ally of all this healthcare business, because during the COVID-19, as they are opening any center, you need to put foam, mattress, and it's their business. I'm telling you that.
Yes.
Just hold on. That's what I'm saying. On that note, not only that, they've also expanded into other business. If you say that company is into some spare parts production, no, that is why their numbers are thick and strong. Their first quarter is a good one, I will tell you that. And pulling back now is, for me, it's an opportunity for you to buy, because we'll soon see their second quarter results, which I know that is going to maintain that trend. For me, you can buy a Vitaphone. There's no problem. But buy at a good support price level. Yeah.
Okay. One Fidelity Bank.
Fidelity is because of dividend, but the way the trend is in the market, if you want to buy Fidelity, don't buy everything at once. For example, if you want to buy 1 million units, you can take 500 or 600. Let's watch the market, because the trend for the banking stock, they've not really as expected. As I said earlier, banking stock is lacking in terms of price appreciation since last year. Let's see if the number they're going to release will change the trend. But if Fidelity can pay anything above 24, around 25 kobo, that price will go up for Fidelity. And also there's ES in the market, which I don't really want to use most time until they start buying. If there's no positive sentiment for it and the people are accumulating that stock, it's going to go up. But for me, take small position. If you want to buy 2 million, you can take 1 million. If you want to, depend on the volume you want to buy. Don't buy up, don't jump in fully, because the market is still not strong as expected. But market is not really on a bearish market, because this is an any season. The trend can change any moment from now.
There's this gambling this I want to do. Owando.
Now gambling. But you know, Owando price is attractive low as it is. It's as it is. But I believe that according to what you are hearing from the vendor, that the two parties, the SEC and the Owando, they are likely to sort out their issue. Once that one is done,
yes,
they might support the price to go up. But if you are using that kind of information to buy, you are going to buy for long term and wait, because the price is low. If you look at the assets of the Owando, you know, the price is selling is just a giveaway price. It's not because the company is not transparent. There's no confidence in them. People don't trust them. But if they can come to prove that yes, we can be trusted now, the price will rally and people will also appreciate that. I know that after they settle with the SEC and everything, they might have to give us almost a five quarter result at once. And if you see that they are okay, and at the end of the day they pay dividend, that might move the price up.
So
but for me, there's a caveat there. There's a caveat there. Yeah. Hello.
In fact,
hello, FCMB.
FCMB. FCMB. Well, FCMB. If you look at their number, FCMB is not doing badly. But market that FCMB, they are not good dividend paying people. They are also like Access. They are very conservative in payout. But you know that they are very conservative in payout. So for that, the price is already high for me at 3 Naira 10 Kobo before it's coming down. For me, if you are there, you can sell part of your position and watch, not to buy at this because let's see how, because they are not going to pay from 10 Kobo to 20 Kobo. If they do that, 100% growth in their payout, fine. But that kind of bank, they are not like that. They won't pay you. Or if you are buying for 3 Naira and they're paying you 15 Kobo, for me, it doesn't make a much because they can increase that from 10 Kobo to 15 Kobo, which is possible. But for 10 Kobo to 20 Kobo, not expected from Stampy. It's better I look the work of Fidelity that can even grow from 20 Kobo they pay to 25 Kobo.
Hello, Mr. Ambrose.
Yeah.
Hello, Mr. Ambrose.
I'm with you, sir. Go ahead, sir. Yeah.
What do you feel is the target price?
You raise the hand. It's supposed to be like that.
Jais.
Do
you think Jais can get to like 80 Kobo?
Not somebody who has not raised the hand.
Hello.
Hello. I said, do you think Jais can go to somewhere like 80 Kobo, considering what's happening in the market now?
Yeah, Jais pulling back is a good one, but going to 80 Kobo will depend on the liquidity in the market. Okay. Let's look at those that their hands are up. Abubakar, your hand is up. Can you ask your question now?
Yes, Mr. Ambrose. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, I talked to you last week. I joined the meeting late, and I asked for the recorded version. I couldn't get the recorded version.
We have shared it since last week now. Okay. Okay.
Then second one, I need to know your perception about MTN.
Okay.
And WAPCO. Currently, what is your take on them? If somebody wants to buy or somebody wants to say they have it.
No.
And then third one.
Okay.
Then third one. You last week it was somebody talked about if you want to monitor the market online, you can buy online when you are monitoring the market. So I want to know what does it take for you to register online, because I need to have that app that I will be able to buy online when I'm monitoring the market.
Okay. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I'll start from the last week recorded version. We have shared that already. Unless you are not in the group, you can also say hi to me after the program. I will send the link to you. That is for one. For WAPCO and the MTN, if you are there, hold position. If you want to buy, you can enter the two.
Hello.
You can buy the two. Fine. You can buy the two now if you want to buy. If you are there, you can hold. That is for it. Then for the last one, which you said the online platform, the stockbrokers you use that you buy your stock, ask them whether they have the online version. You can log in. You can log in. When you have that, then you can equally trade online. You don't need to open a new account. Ask your stockbrokers, do they have online version?
Okay, so I just want to know if you buy online, how is settlement going to be? How is it going to be? Somebody is not muting his microphone. Hello?
Yeah.
I say,
say
online,
work on the exhaust.
somebody should
mute your mic.
Simon, please mute your mic. Simon, please mute your mic.
Okay.
Mute your mic, so
those SS property in SS things in the car.
Simon Akpadaka, please mute your mic.
Okay.
Mute your mic, Simon Akpadaka.
Monday or Tuesday.
Hello, mute your mic, sir. I try to mute it. I can't find it here now. I wanted to mute it from
let
here.
me speak with Sheldon.
So as I was saying.
Okay, go ahead.
As I was saying, I don't know how the settlement is going to be. Is it through the broker? If you buy immediately in the market, how is the settlement going to be?
No, it's just the same thing that broker buy for you. Only that you have access to the floor. your broker has a platform. If they have an online platform, they give you a login details. You can be seeing the market from wherever you are in the world. You can also buy and sell at any time on that platform. Once you buy, the same process it takes to settlement, that is going to take. Unless you have a special account, that is a direct cash settlement, that when you don't sell, you have to go to your account first before you now buy. But most traders don't use that direct cash settlement because it's going to affect your trade. But for other, there's no problem. The same process that when you're normal broker trading for, you can also trade on yourself online. Yeah. Okay.
So I need to transfer my money into the broker's account as I used to?
Yes. That is you must have fund in your broker's account before you can buy online. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
I don't know. You said I should because it's just this what do I call it? I was just given this what do I call it? I was sent this link to join you. So I don't know. I don't have your number that I can
take my number. Take my number. Take my number.
Your email.
Oh yeah, take my number 080.
Okay.
080 281.
080
281.
281.
64085. 080 281 64085. Yeah.
64085.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Oluwa, Tosin, your question so that we can start running up. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Ambrose. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Please, I have 3 questions.
Okay.
The first is, please, could you kindly tell us the qualification period for UCAP? Then secondly, do you think that Chams is a good stock? I see the oscillation. Sometimes it touches 21 kobo, goes back to 25 kobo, comes down to a few times 20 kobo, like that. And I've been thinking, well, you mentioned that such stocks are
so which means they can use my money. So say the answer some 2-3 naira.
Are we hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you. Yeah, I want to answer your question now. Yeah.
Okay. Now the last one, maybe I should reach out to you one-on-one. Well, I just want to, we got a message yesterday that unpaid dividends that have not been claimed, that the federal government is taking over yesterday. I want to be sure how factual that is. That's all. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. To start with the qualification date for UCAP is on the March 5th, the qualification date for UCAP. Yeah. March 5th. Then for me, Chams would have been a better stock to trade because a low cap stock. And also knowing that technology is entering now in the world, Chams has potential to rally. Only that also the management of Chams today, they are also not transparent. Yes, the dividend they pay was when one of the, I don't remember her name, was the MD. Since then they've not paid dividend. That's the only one they pay dividend. And their information is up and down. They are not giving us direct what is happening. And for that, for Cham, you can not do Chams for trading. But once we start seeing re-information for Chams, we can start thinking of planning for long term. But Cham price at this is good for those that are growth investor. Because if we are going into technology world, it's a company that have potential. Only that this part of the world, our managers don't make us know what they are doing. If we're getting information about Chams, that will give us more insight on what they are doing in Chams. But in terms of price oscillation, it has created a trend for himself. He oscillates up and down within that range you said, 21 kobo to 28 kobo. You can always trade that trend, 21 to 28 kobo, which is also okay for me. You can go ahead. For the dividend information you asked, I read it, but I need to sit down and because they said 6 years. If your dividend is less than 6 years, where I read the version I read, that you can still have access to your dividend after doing clearing with your registrar. Also, they are saying they are going to look at transferring it to the deposit insurance corporation, and also if you have unclaimed dividend. But I'm looking at them. Let me just study it around before we can conclude. But I don't have much information on exactly the date they are going to. I said I read it, but for me, the shareholders and the SEC, they have to do something first before they can really move them to the government to become a trust fund to be managed and to be used for expansion. For which they said, anytime the shareholders come up, they can always pay him or her. But let me look at it first before we can, as you just said, we can talk outside the class, then we can discuss on it.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Yeah. Okay, on this note, we're running the curtain now. I think we have still more than a 1 hour class. We're in 12 to 1. Yeah.
Mr. Ambrose, you didn't call me over. I have my hands up.
Okay. Talk for finally. Okay, sir.
Yes, thank you. Okay. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I actually want to ask you because I'm getting a little bit confused.
Okay, sir.
As we speak, my average unit price for Dangote is 156, and for Zenith is 17 naira.
Okay.
Would you advise that I sell these stocks now?
You sell 50% of this stock now.
Okay. Then Lafarge and WAPO, are they different?
Yeah,
what I have on my portfolio is WAPO.
Yes, they are the same thing. Either call Lafarge or call WAPO. Yeah.
Okay. So thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir. Yeah.
Yes, Ambrose, please take this final question. Union Diagnostics, they have come up with one thing in recent times, court-ordered meetings here and there. I don't really understand what they are up to. For some of us that have shares in them, which we bought through private placement some years ago, although it's listed now, what is the essence of the proposal that the court ordered meeting? Because I don't seem to understand. I don't know if you read it.
Yeah, I've looked at it. They're also planning to delist. Actually, they are planning. I even discussed one of the directors. They want to delist. Only that the price they are trying to pay to delist for me is too ridiculous, very small. They're thinking about, is it not 38 kobo? What you sold your private placement around 1 naira, 80 kobo, or 2 naira. But that's what they want to list. They want to delist and settle investors, that don't want to go with them. If you want to go with them to become an unquoted company, fine. But all their moves that they want to delist. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mr. I'm on the NASD. Don't you have information on them? Or don't you analyze them too?